Hey everybody, Wayne Leese here. I am a doTERRA Premier leader, and I'm here to talk to you about my essential oil journey to becoming prescription free. So a little bit of background, I spent 28 years in corporate America in IT and IT security and banking. And I decided about 5 years ago to move to the nonprofit sector and went back to school as a massage therapist to help balance the books. And while I was in massage therapy school, we had a chapter on essential oils. And my good buddy, who I've known since college, Kristen Raza, came to talk to our class about essential oils. And she was involved with doTERRA. And I decided to use the essential oils in my practice as a massage therapist. And knowing Kristen like I did, I knew that she never got involved with a company that wasn't good or with a product that wasn't good. So I trusted the research that she had done, and I became a member of doTERRA with the sole intention of using the oils in my massage practice. So never shying away from the opportunity to get a bargain, I decided I was going to increase my essential oil acquisitions enough to get the product of the month for free, because it was free. And that would be a great way to try new oils and new products without paying for them. So one thing I did to build my LRP was to start with the long life vitality. And I had taken vitamins and minerals on and off over the years, and I knew I was taking some supplements for vitamin D and things like that. And I noticed that I could replace what I was taking with these whole food-based ones, which were actually supposedly better for me. And, you know, a Harvard study has shown that whole food-based vitamins and minerals are much better for the body and much better absorbed than those that are synthetic and not whole food based. And I knew these products were. So I started using the Long Life Vitality product because I know that, you know, omega oils, which is something I wasn't taking, are really good for the body in lots of different ways. And I figured I'd try this Alpha CRS Plus thing and see how that worked too. And at the same time, I decided I was going to cut out caffeine and, you know, eliminate soda from my life. Not that I drank a ton of it, but I did drink, you know, fairly regularly. And I was using sugar, you know, diet sodas. And then I realized all the chemicals that make up the sugar substitutes were even worse for me than the sugar was in the first place. So I just started drinking a lot of water, and I used essential oils in the water, and particularly lemon at the time. Although I have to say my favorite right now is green mandarin. So I cut out the soda, used the essential oils in the water, and started using the Long Life Vitality, the whole 3 supplements. And I noticed that I was feeling a little better. And my gut seemed to be working a little bit better. And I noticed that they had a product called Digestion, and one of the things it was good for was helping with balancing acid in your stomach. So I had been on a prescription antacid, and I really kind of wanted to be off of it. So I started using the Digestion oil because I had that in my starter kit, and then decided that it was easier to just get the Digestion soft gels, because I could just take them with my supplements in the morning and at night and not have to worry about getting out an oil bottle and making either my own capsules or, you know, putting it right on my tongue. And voila, I eliminated prescription number 1. When I started using the soft gels, I wasn't having the issue with my stomach anymore. And between the soft gels and I think the lemon in the water, which helps balance the, you know, acidity in the digestive system, as well as the Long Life Vitality product, I was able to eliminate prescription number 1. As a massage therapist, I was using Deep Blue Rub in my practice, and I knew that it was really good. It helped my clients as well as myself with, you know, we know it's good for aches and pains, and when you overdo it or before and after exercise. And I decided to try the Deep Blue polyphenols because, again, they were a great bargain when you got them with your Long Life Vitality supplements. And just to give you a little bit of background, back in 1994, I fell from my mom's attic 10 feet to the cement garage floor. As you can imagine, it wasn't an uneventful fall, and I ended up with a compression fracture of my lower lumbar vertebrae. So I was using ibuprofen on a regular basis and occasionally a prescription narcotic to cut the pain. And I hated the way the narcotic made me feel. And I really didn't like using ibuprofen every day because it's really not good for, I think it's either the kidney or the liver, but it's not good for you to use on a regular basis. And that's not what it's meant for. So I started using the deep blue polyphenols. And 3 years ago when I moved, I realized that I hadn't touched the ibuprofen bottle that was on my nightstand in a very long time. So when I packed it up and unpacked it, it got to go in the medicine cabinet. And I couldn't remember the last time I used the prescription narcotic. So for me, that was a great revelation. You know, it's so long, prescription number 2. And then I've always suffered from seasonal threats in the spring and the fall, you know, as the leaves come down or the grass comes up, and they've required pharmaceutical support. And I figured these oils work for all the other stuff. Maybe I ought to try for this as well. So, you know, I hear people say all the time, I go to my oils first. And I said, well, I have all these oils that I bought. Why don't I try them first? So being the, I'm going to say, lazy person that I am when it comes to this kind of stuff, I started with the Tri-Ease, which we all know is the lemon, lavender, and peppermint soft gels. And voila, bye-bye prescription number 3. So at this point, I'm saying, hey, these oils really work. So now let's tackle the 2 biggies. So I set my sights on helping my body naturally regulate my cholesterol levels. Of course, that required changes in my diet as well. And I really wanted off the meds because I know, you know, you read all these things about what the side effects of the different meds, and I didn't want that in my body. So I began using Slim and Sassy oil along with lemongrass and lemon in my water regularly. And it took 2 years of watching my numbers, using the oils, and eating properly, but eventually my numbers plummeted, and I could say sayonara to the cholesterol medication. Goodbye, prescription number 4. At that point, when I came off of that, I realized that my whole body felt better because I wasn't poisoning it with the chemicals that are in these other medicines. So I'm a big guy, as you can see. I've always been heavy since high school, and I knew I needed to take some serious action to increase my activity. So a couple years ago, I had met somebody who worked at the Sports Dome in Danbury, and she was helped me get a walking pass to the Sports Dome, and I started walking. This was probably just 2 years ago, February, and I started walking 5-6 times a week, and I worked up from 2 laps up to, I think I was up to 8 laps, which is like, I think it's 2 miles, or I don't know, it's a lot. Anyway, I was walking every day, and I noticed that I was feeling a lot better. I got to listen to a lot of books on tape and learn a whole bunch of stuff, and I got to do some visualizing of goals and things while I was walking, which was a lot of fun. And people started noticing that I was slimming down. And I said, well, I want to really work on building up my strength. And I was able to get I won actually at an event I was working, a 3-month pass to the local Y. So I said, okay, I'm gonna work with a trainer there. And I had worked with a personal trainer in the past. And I said, I wanna get back into doing some weightlifting, but I want to do it properly because, you know, you shouldn't just go in and start using machines or start using free weights, because if you're not using them properly, you're really doing your body more harm than you are good. You can easily injure yourself, as well as, you know, improper form, you're not getting the full benefit of what you're doing. And if I was going to commit to working out regularly, I wanted to be getting the full benefit of that. So I started working with a great personal trainer. And I also added some water aerobics classes. And they were really good because I have a bad knee, and the impact of running and walking isn't that great, on the knee. And the water aerobics, there's no impact. So I could do a deep water aerobics class, get an excellent core workout, excellent strength training as well, and not have any of the impact on my body that I would had I been doing some of this stuff in the gym or on the track. And to boot, I made a lot of really good friends. And it's funny, I was the only guy for the longest time, but just before we had to shut down because of what's going on now, a bunch of other guys joined, and it's been great. And I can't wait to get back to it. But along with that, I began a regimen of an oil blend, which was based on a number of oils that were good for supporting natural response to inflammation, regulating blood sugar levels, and also supporting the body's natural response to blood pressure regulation. So the oils, combined with shedding weight through exercise and food tracking, allowed me to not only eliminate prescription number 5 for blood pressure, but also never start prescription number 6 for sugar regulation. So the oil blend that I use contains equal parts of green mandarin, pink pepper, black pepper, frankincense, turmeric, yarrow palm, cinnamon, and copaiba. And recently I added Melissa to help during the current crisis. I take an empty 15 milliliter bottle of oil, and I put 35 to 40 drops of each oil in it. Shake it up, and then each morning and evening, I use 6 to 7 drops directly on my tongue. It doesn't take long to make and lasts a little over 3 weeks. Again, as I had said earlier, I need to put in routines that are simple to do without taking up a lot of time. And I would never sit there and make veggie caps with 8 different types of oils in it. That would last about a day, and then that would go off. So I found a way to do it where it was very little time and effort and with a big impact. So that's my journey to being prescription free. And along the way, I've added some other supplements, such as PB Assist, which is excellent for your probiotic to help support your digestive system, as well as Terrazyme to help us naturally regulate the food enzyme to help us digest the foods that we take in. And I love the natural alternatives that doTERRA has to offer. And more importantly, I love feeling healthy and being prescription free. Thanks for joining me today.